Surrounded by the beautiful Rocky Mountains, it's time to jump into winter. Hi, I'm Brenda Buglione, and we have a great show lined up for you this week. JC from Ski and Snowboard Club Vail is our chairlift interview. He gives us some helpful info that will make your ski trip a little better. Plus, we'll journey into the backcountry of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. All that and a whole lot more is on the way. Stay tuned. You're watching Snow Motion.
Would it be easier if we had no shoes, no time to kill, and nothing to lose and no worries but the great blue sky, and looking for shade when the sun gets high, we're climbing up that coconut tree. If it's time for one of nature's treats, would it be easier?
Being 40 feet above the half pipe is insane. You see the crowd, you see the ground, you see the trees, flipping, twisting, somehow land on your feet. It's really the best feeling in the world. Some people say my style is effortless, but it's kind of my dirty secret that it really isn't. How are you going to take it from being good to being great? You have to train harder and go bigger. It's extra time on the slopes, falling, getting up and doing it again. It's the way I ski, the way I choose to express myself, and the way I live my life.
What we've done at Surefoot is really changed the way that you get ski boots.
The sun shines bright.
This boot is made for your foot. The difference is amazing. You'll ski better, they're better fitting, better skiing than anything you've ever experienced.
I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me. And life is good the way it should.
Snow Motion is brought to you by The New Mitch by Paul Mitchell. Style isn't born, it's groomed. And by Surefoot. Better fitting, better skiing. Before you come to the mountains to ski, there's a few things you should do to get ready. This week's chairlift interview will help. We rode up the lift with the Human Performance Director of Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. John Cole told us what to do. This week, we got to ride the chairlift with the Director of Human Performance of Ski and Snowboard Club Vail, John Cole. John, I have so many questions for you. I want to know what it takes to be in shape for skiing.
It takes a lot. First of all, that they really need to spend more time in the gym than they think that they ought to work on getting in shape, especially doing cardiovascular work mostly. It's most of the injuries that we find that take place on the hill usually take place later in the afternoon when somebody out here on vacation is not used to the climate, they're a little bit dry, they're tired, and they're taking that one more run, and they don't quite have it in them to get down safely, put themselves in bad positions, and that's how people get hurt. Your energy systems get depleted when you're dehydrated. So in other words, your body's ability to create ATP, or adenosine triphosphate is what we refer to as the energy cells within the human body. It's very difficult for your body to produce that when there is a lack of fluids in the system. So I recommend that people stop and take water breaks as much as humanly possible.
Could you give us 3 exercises for someone that is going on a ski vacation and wants to prepare?
Sure. The single leg deadlift. Single leg deadlift, and you can Google a single leg deadlift. Pull it up online, YouTube videos of people doing it properly. Focuses on backside dynamics. That's hamstrings and glutes. Helps strengthen up the lower back a little bit too, because we mostly focus too much on the quads. We need to focus a little bit more on the back. Second part of it, obviously, core exercises, and I don't mean anterior abdominals, I mean the entire area of your midsection. Best way to do that is yoga planking. And then the third thing is lunges in body weight. Just using your body weight or using a TRX is a good way to do lunges. It's a single leg exercise, which is very important to development. Most people do 2 legs, but you don't ski on 2 legs equally weighted all the time. So you need to do 1 leg at a time.
What happens if you are on a ski vacation and it snows every day and you don't want to miss a minute of the good snow? How can you help regenerate your muscles overnight?
Yeah. So one of the things that's really important that makes us pretty unpopular when I get asked this question is, don't drink a lot of alcohol. You definitely want to try to keep hydrating yourself. Second thing, do your best to stay out of the hot tub. And part of the reason is because your muscles are sore at the end of the day. And when you get into that warm environment, that's a great environment for lactate to build up in the muscles. And most importantly
It's no
is
fun. Did you hear that?
foam
No.
roll. Foam roll as much
roll.
as you can. Get on a foam roll. Foam rolls are painful, but they work really well on getting the tissues and the muscles to elongate, ligaments to elongate, IT bands, everything else, and helps you with regeneration for the next day. And then, of course, get enough sleep.
Okay, that's easy. No drinking, no hot tub, but get a foam roller.
You
so
got
that's
it.
the only one we like out of that. Now, do you create a different program if you're a snowboarder or an alpine skier or free rider?
We do. We individualize the programs based on discipline, but some things cross all disciplines, and that's obviously flexibility, mobility, regeneration, things of that nature. But when it comes to the actual exercises that we do, it changes. We refer to the alpine sports as more the strength, power, and sprint sports, where we talked about the acrobatic sports, snowboarding, free riding, mogul skiing, things of that nature, where it's more rotational movements that requires a lot more flexibility and balance, and obviously body awareness in the air. We have an acrobatic center at the Academy that has 2 super fly beds and a foam pit, which allows the athletes to train some of these more difficult tricks without the risk of injury. And then in addition to that, down on Gold Peak, we also have an airbag, and it's like a giant stuntman's airbag, and it's fantastic because then the athletes can work on the tricks in a real environment using the 22-foot half pipes and throw themselves up in the air, also without the risk of injury when they land.
They say that girls will have more ACL injuries than guys.
Yeah.
Why is that?
What we found, a lot of it has to do with what we refer to as weak glued medius, or your butt. And in many cases, we don't spend enough time training that muscle. And the predisposition for ladies is to have knees that fold to the inside just a little bit, where men are a little bit more neutral. And in order for us to correct that predisposition of movement, we spend a lot of time working on the glute medius, or areas of connection in the hamstring and the low back, which is your butt.
So I'd like to go back to the hydration and keeping the muscles strong, because I was thinking if we could wrap up, because we're almost to the top, how to stay safe on the slopes.
Take frequent breaks, especially if you're out here on vacation. A lot of people coming from sea level don't really understand the idea of acclimatization, or actually working your way slowly up to this elevation. It's pretty high up here in the Rockies. So taking frequent breaks, every time you take 2 or 3 runs, take a break and go into one of the shacks or one of the lodges on the mountain, grab water. Make sure you're putting down a full glass of water at lunchtime. If you don't feel like you have to pee just about every hour, you're not hydrated enough. Don't wait until you're thirsty. If you wait until you're thirsty, it's too late. And the whole idea is to stay safe out here.
Okay, JC, thanks for teaching us a lot today.
Problem, my pleasure, Brenda.
Okay, let's go take a run.
You got it.
Stay tuned to Snow Motion, because after the break, we're going to take you on a trip to the backcountry of Wyoming. Don't go away. You're watching Snow Motion.
Squaw Valley and Alpine Meadows have combined to offer 6,000 acres, 43 lifts, and 10 terrain parks in one amazing winter setting. Stay in the village at Squaw Valley, just steps from the lifts, and enjoy all that the North Lake Tahoe region has to offer. Squaw Valley and Alpine Meadows. Plan your extraordinary winter adventure.
Being 40 feet above the half pipe is insane. You see the crowd, you see the ground, you see the trees, flipping, twisting, somehow land on your feet. It's really the best feeling in the world. Some people say my style is effortless, but it's kind of my dirty secret that it really isn't. How are you going to take it from being good to being great? You have to train harder and go bigger. It's extra time on the slopes, falling, getting up and doing it again. It's the way I ski, the way I choose to express myself, and the way I live my life.
Welcome back to Snow Motion. Thanks for staying with us. Some of the best skiing in Jackson Hole, Wyoming is in Storm Show Studios' newest film, Most Wanted. The snow in Jackson Hole, Wyoming proves that there's never a bad snow year out west. Check out Most Wanted.
I love the show, dude. I love it.
Come to a place where we are lost, you know? When an Indian is lost, he must reach into the spirit world to find a way. On the spirit road, he'll be shown a sign. This is the way to the spirit road. We're lost right now, but I'll find us the way.
He pushes the limits of snowboarding. He's been on the podium at X Games and the overall champion of the Winter Dew Tour. Louis Vito is a force to be reckoned with in the world of professional snowboarding. Here's more about Vito.
Action. You know, summertime is nice. You get a break from snowboarding, but you're also pretty busy doing the things you can't do during winter, from photo shoots, meetings. I'm out here with Sprint doing a golf outing with some of their customers and employees, which is always fun. You just really get to hang out, which is the best part. It's not that I don't like doing things I'm not good at. I just always try to be good at everything I do. Oh my gosh. You know, it's just my competitive nature, but the only problem is with golf, the more competitive I get and the more into it I get, the harder I'm swinging, the worse I'm playing, and I'm trying harder and harder. And in golf, I have to try less to do better. Nope. I like to think of myself as raising their self-esteem for golf, because when they watch me go, they're gonna feel better about their own golf game. No, today's been super fun. You know, every year it's a good time with everybody from Sprint, so thank you to them, and thanks for coming out. But I'm gonna stick to snowboarding, at least I know what I'm doing out there. I'm done. That's all I needed.
Stay tuned to Snow Motion. When we come back, we're going to cue up our ski tip and help you become a better skier.
What we've done at Surefoot is really changed the way that you get ski boots.
The sun shines bright.
This boot is made for your foot. The difference is amazing. You'll ski better. They're better fitting, better skiing than anything you've ever experienced.
I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me. And life is good the way it should.
Squaw Valley and Alpine Meadows have combined to offer 6,000 acres, 43 lifts, and 10 terrain parks in one amazing winter setting. Stay in the village at Squaw Valley, just steps from the lifts, and enjoy all that the North Lake Tahoe region has to offer. Squaw Valley and Alpine Meadows. Plan your extraordinary winter adventure.
Snow Motion is brought to you by GoPro, the world's most versatile camera. Wear it, mount it, love it. And by Bogner, the luxury of sport. You can always stay connected to Snow Motion. Go to snow-motion.com. Conditions like these are perfect. Soft snow, blue sky, they make you feel like a champion. But today we're going to make our technique even better. We're going to work on keeping our shoulders level. Your hands are connected to your shoulders, so if you dip your head and shoulder into the turn, one hand goes up. A common mistake is when a skier will dip their head and their shoulder into the turn to help them get into the turn. But really, that releases pressure on your downhill ski. If I dipped my head and shoulder into the slope, I lose my edge pressure and control. I want to keep them level and out in front. If I see a skier dropping their inside hand down by their thigh, I know their shoulders aren't level and they're losing the pressure on that outside ski. So I tell them to lift their hand, keep both hands driving forward, and that will keep the pressure in the turn. The top skiers on the World Cup have one thing in common. That is a quiet upper body. We know if you're tipping and waving to the crowd, you're going to be slow. So keep those shoulders parallel. The hips are parallel, the knees are parallel, the feet are parallel, all to the snow. The backcountry of Wyoming has some of the most wanted powder lines you can find. Storm Show Studios went out there and captured this amazing skiing. You gotta watch this.
I love the show, dude. I love it.
Oh, is he in there?
Not us.
That'll give him something to talk about. Travel lunch. Woo! Glad to be alive.
The men and women of the U.S. ski and snowboard team train day in and day out to compete against the best in the world. Oftentimes, we only see them with their helmets on and their goggles down. Let's cue up that athlete profile and take a closer look.
Well, I started skiing at 11 months old. I was pretty young. My dad, he was really into it.
The way Patrick was born on Christmas Day, I had him skiing November 3rd the next year. So he was just developed really fast. I think the kids learn something at that young age. So it's like walking and skiing is the same thing for them.
Starting that young, it's a good way to start. And you know, I never remember not being good at skiing. So this is the sport for me.
Grandma and grandpa skied, mom and dad skied, sisters skied, all their friends skied. So that's all he did. And then we had him homeschooled. So he skied 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, every day since he's been about 1 year old.
I started ski racing when I was 7 years old, and I had a lot of fun, but I just wanted to go fast. And for me, the mogul skiing is so fast-paced. Your speeds may not be quite as great, but it feels way faster. I love being out here in Washington. I love being with my family. I really like coming home. It's really relaxing, and it's a good place just to come off of skiing, relax, and you know, get my priorities back straight and in line. We have some great animals out here. We have a pack of 4 dogs and a herd of 20 horses. I really enjoy horseback riding. It's really just a really good way for me to relax when I come home and just spend some time with some really big, really cool animals.
He's as good a horseback rider as he is a skier. When I started him young skiing, his mom started him even younger horseback riding. When she was pregnant, she was still riding with him. And she's one of the better rainers in the country.
Definitely in the next couple of years, I have my sights set on the Olympics, and we're training hard right now. It's an incredible feeling to be an Olympian. Definitely going to Vancouver was a big eye-opener, and really showed me, I mean, that's something I want to do, and I'm really excited coming into Sochi in 2014. It's a long and hard road to get to be an Olympian. With a lot of days working out, working hard, and you know, some days you just don't want to get out of bed and go to the hill, but you have to. You know, I mean, that's how you're going to get better, and that's how you're going to beat everyone.
Thanks for watching Snow Motion. We had a blast this week, and I hope you get a chance to go out and hit the slopes. I'm Brenda Buglione, and we'll see you next time.
Would it be easier if we had no shoes, no time to kill, and nothing to lose, and no worries but the great blue sky, and looking for shade when the sun gets high, or climbing up that coconut tree. If it's time for one of nature's treats, would it be easy?